What's up, guys? So for this Gunpla tip video, we're going to talk about Topcoat and try to answer some common questions that I see a lot. So by no means is this going to be 100% comprehensive, as there is a wide range of products and applications that you can use Topcoat for generally. And also compatibility depends on a lot of different variables like paint brands and paint type. We'll get into that a little bit, but first I just want to answer a couple of main questions. So what is Topcoat materially? What does it do functionally? And how to use it? So materially, you can think of Topcoat essentially just as a clear paint that comes in mostly either gloss, semi-gloss, or matte slash flat coat. And so if it's just a clear paint, what's the point of it? What does it do? It basically enables you to alter the finish while minimally altering the color. Now I do say minimally altering the color, even though it is clear. It's true that most Topcoat products will alter the color slightly. For example, gloss Topcoat will make the colors more vibrant, where a matte or flat finish will slightly dull the colors. So if you take a look at these two examples here, these are molded in the exact same color, but because of the difference in Topcoat, the color looks much more vibrant there with the gloss coat than it does with the matte finish Topcoat there. It definitely has kind of a duller look to it, right? Right, so what does the Topcoat actually do for you functionally? Well, you can kind of think of it sort of like as a save state. It allows you to save your process and then continue, or save your process once you're completely done with your project. And so this kind of goes to one of the most common questions when it comes to using Topcoat, and that's just when to use it. So just think of it as saving your progress and or altering the finish. And the most common reason for altering a finish for Gunpla in particular is to create a glossy surface with gloss coat, which would be ideal for panel lining and decals. And that's because liquid methods for panel lining flow better over a glossy surface, and decals also lay more flat and smooth on top of a gloss surface. Because if you've ever tried doing your panel lining over a part that you've already sprayed matte coat on, you know that it just kind of doesn't work out well. The granular surface created by the matte finish top coat will actually disperse the panel line fluid rather than letting it flow smoothly through the panel lines and around your details. It also just makes it harder to clean up and just more of a mess generally. And if you ever tried putting on water slide decals over a matte finish as well, this is also a much easier way to get silvering under the decals, which is another thing that you don't want. And all that said, some paint is already glossy by nature, so you can check the label on that. And if you're already using a glossy paint, then you might not really need to use gloss coat before you do your panel lining and decals. But again, if you just want to be on the safe side, it couldn't hurt to just spray some gloss coat on top of it anyway. It's just less necessary with a paint that's already glossy. And while it's never a bad idea to just go ahead and save your progress with some top coat between steps anyway, it can be disastrously bad. And I'm sure you guys have probably heard horror stories about this. If you're using top coat in extreme weather, if it's extremely hot, cold, high humidity, these are the kind of conditions that are really going to mess with your top coat and cause fogging on the parts. Now, there are ways to get rid of it, but it's really a pain, and it's really best to just avoid it if you can. But so I mentioned a couple of good reasons for using gloss as a save point, but matte finish can also be used as a save point after you apply your decals especially, and that is if you are planning on doing weathering. So most weathering products are going to work much better on a satin or a matte finish than on a glossy surface, because you don't want the weathering product that you're using to just slide right off the surface. You want some of it to stick. You want your dirt and grime and oil, grease, whatever it is that you're trying to put on to the surface of the armor, you want it to stay on there. So again, that slightly rougher surface created by the matte finish top coat can be good for that. And then when you're all finished with your project and it comes time to applying the final top coat on it, another common question is how much should you disassemble the kit before applying the top coat on it? First of all, a big warning to you guys to always be careful about clear parts and stickers. If you're applying matte coat on top of any clear parts or stickers, anything that's supposed to be shiny, that's not going to be shiny anymore, so make sure to remove those or keep your stickers off until after you're applying the top coat, and then put those on there. But then when it comes to disassembly, it really just kind of depends on how much you're planning to move the model around after you've applied the top coat. Because if you've got an assembled joint that you spray the top coat on, and then later you go to bend the joint, you're going to notice that there's going to be spots that aren't coated with that top coat, and so you'll have a little bit of a weird kind of spot there. So the best bet is to extend a joint all the way one way, spray top coat once, wait for that to dry, extend the joint the other way, spray top coat again, then you've got the joint entirely covered, and no matter how you end up posing the model, you won't have any odd looking spots there on your joints. But typically for Gunpla, it's not really necessary to completely disassemble the model kit. I would just break it down into sections, spray an arm at a time, a whole leg at a time, maybe separate the foot off of the leg, the torso, the skirt section, the head. I usually break it down into sections like this, and again, just keeping in mind your joint coverage. Finally, just for the actual application of top coat, if you're using it through an airbrush, you're just going to use it exactly like you would a normal paint. If you're using it with a spray can, you're just going to want to make sure you stay about 12 to 14 inches away from the kit, and spray lightly and move the part around a lot, and just keep an eye on it because that clear paint is kind of hard to see, and you don't want the top coat to be pooling or dripping anywhere, so just make sure you get a nice even coverage around the part. And most importantly, of course, do make sure that you're working in a well-ventilated area outside if the weather is nice enough. have, or inside if you have a spray booth and proper respiratory mask. The main thing to remember with Topcoat is that it's an important step for a number of reasons and has a lot of different applications, but it's really not all that complicated and is definitely going to improve the look of your model. So it's important to get used to it. And remember, when in doubt, just test it out. If you have spare parts around, you're not sure if it's too hot or if it's too humid, you don't want to mess up your model, spray Topcoat on spare parts, just check the reaction, make sure everything's all good, and then you're good to go. That's going to do it for this video, guys. If you have any other further questions, of course, do feel free to let us know. And make sure you're subscribed to not miss any future videos. For more paints, tools, products, model kits, and more, you can check the link in the video description to us at Gundam Store. We'll see you guys in the next video. Later.